This piece of research has got me wondering. The WHO, the World Health Organization, saying that 50% of Indians are not getting in any physical activity. There is high level of inactivity in India and even outside of India. But as far as India is concerned, we've already become the metabolic disease capital of the world. We are the diabetes capital of the world. We are fast becoming the obesity capital of the world. So what really is going on? Why is exercise? Why is physical activity important? This week, Health 360 has decided to talk about physical activity and its impact on your well-being, on your mental health, on your anti-aging process, on your stamina, on your physical strength, on your emotional well-being, on your physical well-being. We've decided to focus and put the spotlight on the importance of physical activity. I'm Sneha Mordani. A country that just does not exercise. 50% of Indians get no physical activity, none whatsoever. Look around you. How many people look fit to you? Not inflamed and in shape. Chances are not many. Half the adult Indian population does not meet the World Health Organization's guidelines on sufficient physical activity, according to new data published in the Lancet Global Health. More women, about 57%, than men, 42%, are physically inactive. Most alarmingly, the prevalence of insufficient physical activity among Indian adults has risen sharply from 22.3% in 2000 to 49.4% in 2022. The World Health Organization recommends that adults have 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity or equivalent every single week. Physical inactivity puts adults at greater risk of cardiovascular diseases such as heart attacks and strokes, type 2 diabetes, dementia and cancers such as breast and colon, all of which, by the way, is on the rise. No surprises that India is already the capital of the world when it comes to the prevalence of many of these metabolic diseases. Let's now look at the global picture. Of concern, disparities remain between gender and age. Physical inactivity is still more common among women globally, compared with men, with inactivity rates of 34% compared to 29%. How much activity is good enough? The biggest impediment to fitness is a mental barrier, that it is just another routine in a very, very crowded day. That should never be the case. Explore and find something that you enjoy doing. There are just so many options. Experiment and exercise. It certainly will not feel like a chore. Lifestyle coach Luke Coutinho is with us. Thank you so much for your time. I want to begin by asking you that a lot of people that I speak with, and this also actually holds true for me, that when you talk about fitness, the problem is that people see it as another chore. What do you have to say about this kind of a mindset, and why do you think Indians are lagging behind when it comes to physical inactivity?
I think a lot of people are missing out on this in our country. I'll be honest with you, people like to blame busy lifestyles, but hey, no one ever said you need 1 hour to be fit. You can do it in 30 minutes. But I think what's robbing most Indians of time is addiction to social media, screen time, and OTT platforms. The amount of time that they are spending on that, and then all of a sudden you realize, hey, my day's over. I need to go to sleep. Let's try tomorrow again. But that dopamine addiction of screen time and OTT platforms is winning. But, I think that's one of the biggest, because a lot of people blame their jobs, but when we break it down, we find time in their day to do at least 45 minutes or even an hour of a walk or a proper workout.
Well, absolutely. I also want to ask you, a lot of people associate exercise with looking good, but not so much about your stamina or, stopping your muscles from degenerating. Most people think about their abs. Women think about perhaps like they worry about their belly or your midriff, whatever. It can be, just the way you look is just so important.
That's a brilliant question that you ask, because a lot of women and men are just focusing, and young girls and boys are only focusing on aesthetics. How to look. Yes. They're not focusing and understanding that, what is longevity, what is great skin, great hair, great hormonal health for men, women, young girls, and young boys is muscle. And I'm not talking about bodybuilding muscle. I can challenge muscle through an asana. I can challenge muscle through brisk walking, running, push-ups, pull-ups, body weight exercises. I don't need a fancy gym membership to build a great body.
All right. Luke, I'm going to thank you for joining us and sharing your views with us. An important point that you mentioned, also to tell our viewers that we've always highlighted that exercise is related to your physical health. It's of course to keep you in great shape, but remember that it also is linked directly to your mental health. As far as exercise movement goes, it's extremely important to say that it lifts your spirit. The release of endorphins is what directly is linked to your mood swings, to your mental health. Luke, I'm thanking you for the moment for connecting with us. Feeling stressed after a day long of work? Maybe not the best environment at work. Maybe all that you need to do is just relax. Well, if yes is the answer to those questions, then hit the gym. Go for a run. Even if you're tired, try doing some stretches, maybe yoga, Pilates, anything. Get in some movement. Movement is essential to lift your mood. Exercise is necessary for physical well-being, but even more for your mental health. How is that? Well, there is solid science behind this. For example, have you ever experienced a runner's high? When you start out on your run, your body goes through a transition. Your breathing may become heavy. You might notice your pulse quicken as the heart pumps harder to move oxygenated blood to your muscles and brain. Well, as you hit your stride, your body releases hormones called endorphins. Popular culture identifies these as the chemicals behind runner's high. A short, lasting, deeply euphoric state following intense exercise. One thing that can help with your mental health is activity, exercise. In a world that is seeing anxiety levels of just about everyone hit the roof, exercise is an antidote. Engaging in regular physical activity can reduce symptoms of depression, improve mood and increase energy levels. Regular exercise can help you sleep better. Good sleep helps you manage your mood. There's a direct link to that. Exercise can improve your sense of control, coping ability and self-esteem. People who exercise regularly often report how good achieving a goal makes them feel. It offers an opportunity to socialize and get social support if you exercise with others. Group exercise. Exercise increases your energy levels. Now the science behind it again. Exercise improves mental health by altering neurotransmitters, which may decrease allostatic load and improve mood, emotional regulation, cognitive performance, and stress resilience. It may also promote brain health through gut bacterial metabolites. Exercise promotes neuroplasticity, allowing the brain to forge new neural connections, crucial for learning, memory, and recovery from mental health problems. The rise in BDNF not only fosters new neuron development and survival, but also enhances synaptic plasticity, reinforcing the mental health benefits of exercise. What reason do you have for not exercising today? I don't. While at work, it's easy to lose track of time. But remember that being mindful about getting some physical movement while you are at work is extremely important. It goes a long way. Some simple things that you can do even in your office premises will help you. While I get my steps in, take a look at this report that my colleague Achal has filed. Did you know by spending hours at your desk, you could be slowly sabotaging your health? Recent studies revealed that sitting for extended periods is as dangerous as smoking. Many of us find ourselves sitting for longer periods of time during office hours, or in front of the TV, the computer, or in our car. This sedentary lifestyle may seriously harm our health. Which is why are people not getting enough movement nowadays? Modern technology is one of the factors that have made people inactive. Even for the smallest of distances, we tend to opt for a vehicle rather than walk. Everything gets delivered to your doorstep, be it your food, clothes or groceries. Inactiveness can cause serious health problems that should not be taken lightly. Studies indicate that people who sit for more than 8 hours a day have a 90% risk of developing type 2 diabetes, a 50% increased risk of heart disease, and a 20% higher risk of dying prematurely compared to those who are more active. It also increases the risk of cancer by 30% and can shorten life expectancy by up to 2 years. Sitting for long hours tends to give you musculoskeletal problems along with stiffness and back discomfort.
Physical inactivity is counted as one of the top 4 leading causes of adult death. Now, this is something which is going on increasing. So, if you look at the data in the past 20 or 30 years, the percentage of people who are physically inactive has also gone up, right? From say 20 or 25%, now we have reached 50%. And if it continues to grow like this, then in the next say 7 to 8 years, almost 60% of the adult population may be physically inactive.
Here's what I found useful. Why take the lift when the stairs are here? In fact, taking the staircase a couple of times a day in your office essentially is considered decent amount of physical activity. It's actually easily doable, does not require extra time to be designated, and it's fairly simple. All that it takes is a little bit of patience and effort. So one of the other things that you can do in your office setting is in meetings like this. Why sit? When you can actually stand. When you might just be the odd one out, but what the hell, it actually works. Alright, the other thing that I often do is, and this is a constant request from me, is that why sit when you can stand? When you have the option, while anchoring, of standing there, why sit here? Alright, so even if you're confined to your workstation, your desk, a couple of things that you can do while just being at your desk. For example, you can stretch your arms in this fashion, rotate your shoulders, stretch your legs if required. If you're feeling stiff, a couple of these stretches while at your workstation will help. Well, a couple of trips to the water station during the day is going to in fact go a long way in keeping your movement intact.
It's not that we have to have 30 to 40 minutes of walking at a stretch. If we are getting say 5 or 10 minutes, if we are free, we can walk for that time, because every step counts, and that is called an exercise snacks. So one may not have good 40 minutes like an exercise meal, but if you can have 5 or 10 minutes of walking, and these kind of exercise snacks in small amounts and say 3-4 times in a day while in the office can go a long way.
Staying active throughout the day not only benefits your physical health, but also boosts your mood and energy levels.
Remember, if you have a short amount of time, you may make it quick and simple. Any exercise is better than none at all. Even though if you are unable to free up time from other tasks, you may be able to include these little bursts of activities in your day-to-day lives. Your long-term health will improve if you are able to schedule exercise every day. If you plan an enjoyable activity, then becoming active will be even simpler. Remember, everything counts. With video journalist Lalit Mohan Joshi, Aanchal Tiwari, India Today.
Well, for years, it's been debated whether weightlifting is for everyone. Should everyone be doing it? Now, Simran tells us in this report that there is enough research and science and reasons for women, men, children, seniors, everyone to lift weights. Let's take a look.
I get it right, it's an unusual sight. seeing these kids working out in the gym rather than playing outside. But many may ask, strength exercises for these kids? Well, actually, it's a very good idea. If done the right way, these things can put these kids on a lifetime path for healthy and a better lifestyle.
Don't confuse strength training with weightlifting, bodybuilding, or powerlifting. For kids, light weights and controlled movements are best. Using good form and being safe are most important.
Kids can start with bodyweight exercises like sit-ups, push-ups, squats and crab walks to build strength without using weights. As they learn proper technique, they can gradually progress to using light free weights or resistance bands. The focus should be on proper form and technique with a qualified supervisor or a trainer.
Children can do many strength training exercises using their own body weight. Free weights, machine weights, and medicine balls are other options. But keep in mind that some equipment designed for adults might be too large for many children.
Key precautions that children should take: avoid machines and equipment designed for adults. Use child-size equipments. Start with 1 or 2 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions and increase weights sets gradually as strength improves. Take at least a day off between strength training sessions.
If done right, strength training can increase children's muscle strength, can protect from sport injuries, can strengthen bones. It can help maintain a healthy weight and help kids feel good about themselves. Overall, it increases physical activity. Experts suggest that school-age children should get 60 minutes or more of daily activity with muscle and bone strengthening exercises, to be done at least 3 times a week.
As parents, you're their role models, or as friends or peer groups, you're their role models. And there's a saying, monkey see, monkey do. So when they see 5 kids are working out, they're going to be like, okay, I want to try and do that. So that first starts with imitation. Then we strengthen as coaches, we strengthen and motivate them to carry on with that habit and help them give cues or correct their movements so that you instill that confidence in them that, okay, this is something that I can do.
Whether as young as 7 or as old as 52, beyond enhancing your physical appearance, engaging in regular strength training exercises offers an array of benefits that can improve your well-being. Experts tell us about how much more important it gets to start strength training as we age.
So you will see that people have that duck walk. You see elderly people walk like side to side. That's a classic case of sarcopenia because their legs are not strong enough to have a more composed gait. So sarcopenia happens aggressively if you don't use your muscle. So the moral of the story is if you don't use your body, you will lose your body. You will need assistance. And people who are working out in their 30s and 40s right now, what they're actually doing is sort of building a bank of muscles that will serve them during the senior years.
It's not just about bulging muscles and heavy weights, it impacts our overall health and how. With a longer list of benefits, elderly people can switch to a better lifestyle with lifting just nominal weights, as it helps in combating age-related muscle loss, allows greater delivery of nutrients and oxygen to muscles. It supports functional independence as one can gain greater movement control and balance. It reduces general aches and pains, improves overall bone health, also improves mental health and reduces fatigue. That's not all. It also helps in fighting type 2 diabetes with reduced fasting glucose levels and, of course, greater sleep quality. The perception that the older population is too frail to take on something as arduous as weight training and that due to age-related changes to their muscles, rewards will be minimal, but with proper and guided training, the sky is the limit. With Simranjit Kaur Renu for India Today. It's time for a quick commercial break here. On the other side of this break, a lot more details about the importance of physical activity in our lives.